Imagine you're living now in your apartment, and if you look above, you can often see the smoke detector, right? When something happens, and this is a device that we're get used to. It is very passive, but in case something happens, there is a fire, it alerts you, alerts fire workers. So it's like a passive solution that provides very high level of security. And our idea is the same, but in healthcare domain. So we developed a totally integrated product, a small device that you simply attach to your toilet bowl in your living apartment or house. And every time you go and do your regular things in the restaurant, it collects data, right? And with these data, we can provide a lot of insights regarding your health status, whether you have like deviations from the normal conditions, whether there are some illnesses. Advantage of our technology is that we don't have any consumables, so you don't have to maintain your solution. The technology is low cost, so we are targeting mass market. Our end goal is to have millions of people to use our solution. So the price is not a barrier, and also our technology can detect multiple or a lot of biomarkers, and we have a product rollout plan. So we'll continuously integrate new disease detection algorithm and technologies to our product, but the hardware component will stay the same.
Mm-hmm. And what are the use cases for the product usage? So, I mean, like, who will benefit from this product in terms of the stakeholders as well as the end users?
Yeah, great question. We have three stakeholders in the healthcare world. So normally we have like people, we have doctors, and we have payers. In some countries, payers are like public, like government or like country. In some countries, there are insurance companies like private insurance companies, but that's like the stakeholder map includes three stakeholders. And for all of them, we have separate and unique value propositions. So people benefit by continuous monitoring, alerting them that when they approach some acute conditions or a new disease is coming, or if they, let's say, they can receive the report about their treatment progress. For doctors, they got digital objective information about symptoms, right? So in many healthcare domains, so we're starting with urology. Our first product application will be in urology. And for instance, in urology, people normally share, they don't have means or products to share objective data with their doctors. So nothing similar to glucometers or blood pressure monitors. Normally, during the first consultations or remote consultations, they just share subjective symptoms. Well, I start waking up at night more often. I have like urgency symptoms or something like that. So, and we're going to provide digital and objective information to doctors, which will enhance their decision-making process, data-driven decision-making progress, and obviously make the treatment process more effective. And the last stakeholder, which is payers, they will benefit by reducing costs.
Don't look up Moringa. Seriously, just skip this. You walk past it in the market. You hear the name here and there.
Of course, when you're talking about your product, I imagine some, like futuristic films and videos about the future of health. And this is, of course, partially the part of this ecosystem. So
Exactly.
Yeah, and can you name the key milestones of developing the startup and the product as of now? Because some founders will be listening to us, and they will also have the hardware products as well as with the software. So probably you can elaborate on this a bit more.
We're tackling one of the most challenging areas because healthcare is very regulated. On the other hand, we're working on hardware on the solution which has hardware component. Hardware is also a challenge for many investors because it's hard to develop. There are a lot of risks related to that. So the first thing we had to do when we started our journey is to confirm the proof of concept that our solution works, right? And we partner with several institutions in Ukraine and outside the Ukraine, in US, in Europe, to confirm the initial that again our product works. That was the proof of concept period, and then we started working on architecture and how to make our product cheap, how to make it how to make it easy, how to make it let's say easy to produce. We advanced our AI component. We tested it on real patients, and then we engaged in clinical trials because, the before you start selling something, you need to show the efficacy, and the only way to show efficacy in healthcare is to do clinical trials. So now we are ready. Now we're in the stage when we are getting ready for bulk production. So we have early adopters, who have clients who are looking, waiting for our product to be available commercially. So yeah, we're moving from stealth mode to commercialization. That's where we're currently at.
So as I understand right now, you're in this commercialization mode and you're looking for the customers. What are the next frontiers which you envision in the upcoming months?
Yeah, I would say during this year, we need to get ready for bulk production. It means that we need to have the quality management system in place. We need to have some alignment with ISO certificates. We need to find vendors. We need to develop the requirements for those vendors. We need to negotiate with them. So it's like a lot of things to do to get ready, to produce tens, thousands of devices which is scheduled for the next year.
And looking back at these milestones of your startup development, what was the hardest part to you, and what was the most challenging part?
Yeah, I would say that for hardware startups, and again especially in healthcare, the most challenging part is that you are not always able to iterate very quickly. So if you're doing software product, you can overnight do some modifications of your technology, launch marketing campaign, have some users test on them, do A/B testing and something like that, and quickly iterate. With hardware product, the iteration, we're pretty good with iteration, but it still takes like 1-2 months because you need to order components, you need to redesign, reproduce, and this kind of stuff. So the most challenging part for us is to do quick iterations, and we did some mistakes with our product positioning, and we had to step back and rethink our strategy, and it was challenging. So it's not so quick as I would like it to move.
So I will start with myself. By my background, I'm a scientist, bioinformatician, strong track of records within the biomedical field for both lab processing and data analysis. And it's kind of my biggest inspiration of my life. So at some point, I decided to convert this passion and the scientific interest into the commercial sphere. And that's how we found Apixmed together with two amazing technical specialists, Evgeny and Andriy. So basically, our team in the co-founder level consists of the strong biomedical expertise, advanced skills in the software development, and also infrastructure deployment for complex solutions such as knowledge systems and some complex algorithms for big data processing.
Oh, wow, that sounds really cool. And may I just dive deeper into your experience of founding the company? So you are a scientist and you were working in fundamental science or practical one?
Fundamental mostly.
And this is kind of an amazing case. When you decided to, start your own business, what inspired you? Which moment in your life defined this thing that you said that, no, I want to go with a business role right now?
It's an interesting recap because with my first semi-commercial experience, I started when I was on my bachelor studies in Ukraine. And it was one of the projects which was a winning idea of the Falling Walls Conference. It's one of the biggest conference for innovations in Europe. And basically it started, and all of this entrepreneurship spirit started from that point, which was, I think, in 2017 or so. So basically I was young and also already attracted by the idea that scientific research can be translated into some industrial cases or commercial services for the best of usage from the audience as well. So after several iterations and trials with my own ideas, Apixmed started. So basically with this, all of the entrepreneurial mindset in combination with science and the scientific perspective, I started kind of 8 years ago. So yeah, it's a track.
Wow. And where did you meet your co-founders and how you decided to find like these specific people and them to your team?
So the moment the idea of Apixmed was created or appeared is actually the crucial moment of everyone's life, I believe, because it was at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's why we were all discussing with our teammates or friends all of the challenges that the population world is facing right now. So at some point I was talking to a friend of mine, Evgeny, and we were kind of brainstorming that actually it's very disappointing that the medical system in general is not able to handle all of these challenges at the moment. There are several optimizations that we can provide in order to reduce this burden of this, the number of the patients as well as the optimized healthcare and disease treatment. So that's why we started with just a brainstorming idea, conceptualizing, sharing some ideas, because Evgeny has a strong experience in developing the medical software. So at that point, I was sharing my kind of scientific expertise, purely insights from the global trends and the point of view how it's done in Europe or how it's done in other countries and how it can be done in Ukraine in particular. And Evgeny was saying, actually we have some tools for that. So at that point we decided, let's try out to found Apixmed and see how it goes. And that's after that we realized that we need a third person to rely on in our little startup team, and that's how third co-founder joined us. But we knew each other from the student time, from the Kyiv Polytechnic University and some related stuff.
Wow. And who is responsible for what right now in your team? I mean, like in this C-level team?
In general, all of the main decisions are made jointly on this kind of democracy level. So basically to have some particular strong decision made, we have 3 out of 3 votes to be provided. But ideally, we share the responsibilities in the way that I'm taking over all of this visionary stuff, also the scientific development, the consideration and testing of the new approaches, as well as new directions. I coordinate partially the product development in the way it is in between my and Evgeny's responsibilities. And out of 2 other co-founders, they both responsible for parts of the software infrastructure as well as backend and frontend. But Evgeny also, as the Ukrainian representative of our team, takes over all of the administration. So we share the responsibilities and we try to not to take over too much outside our expertise. And we also do our best in order to facilitate the kind of onboarding of the service provider to cover some of the startup needs. So we do not try to do something we do not necessarily can do in general. So that's, I think, the benefit of our team, that we decided that we stick with our expertise and try to do as much as we can outside this. But if it takes too much of effort, we try not to dilute the focus and do things we do good, not take things that should be done. So that's kind of a long story short about us.
Wow, that sounds really amazing that you are focusing on your capabilities first, and then, like you are like an architect, not even like an architect, but a sculptor. You are like diminishing and everything else, which distracts your focus from what I'm hearing right now. And that's
true. That's what we try to do also. Yeah,
a dedication. And how many people do you have apart from your founding team, and which functions do you have?
So basically our team is 7 people, considering people who work part-time with us and full-time. And also we have a wide list of advisors and people affiliated, like a partnership and other kind of team members, external team members. Most of the team members we have outside the C-level are in the R&D department. So they are shaping our solution from the scientific perspective, as also validating algorithms and finding new evidences to enhance and improve our current knowledge base. So mostly these are R&D people with some other technical or biomedical expertise.
Yeah, you're quite science-based startup. So
we are.
And I jumped into the team because I'm the person who is a pro team, and I believe that great teams can make great products happen. And let's right now get a little back and let's talk about the product itself, because of course you are working in the patient's data and protected storage of data, but let's talk about this in form of the industry you're operating in right now. As I understand, this is more close to precision medicine stuff, where you're getting the precision treatment and you're helping people to get this precision treatment. So correct me if I'm wrong here. And also let's talk in simple terms, what your startup is doing for people who are not that much into this industry. They're either from other industries or can be potential users of your startup.
Sure. So I think we are tackling the need of everyone. So basically none of us wants to suffer from the adverse drug effects or some inefficient medical decision that the clinician can make for yourself. That is why what we do, we analyze the medical and genetic data of a patient, sometimes also some other biomarkers if this data is available, in order to reanalyze it from the expert view perspective and provide the feedback on how personalizable, how efficient, how safe is this treatment for you, and what can you do in order to increase the treatment efficiency in the way that it's sometimes some lifestyle interventions are needed, or some auxiliary testing, like knowing your genes, which affect how you metabolize several drugs, is needed. So that's what we do. We indeed store and analyze medical data, but also we are able to process on this on the advanced level your genetic data if you have one, or point you to the need that you actually have to have your genetic data, because your condition and the treatment approach is relying on the efficiency of how well your genes metabolize something. So that is why we analyze medical and genomic data and provide you with informed decision in order what can you do. And knowing this, you can also understand that sometimes patients do not have that much right to make this decision. So we shape our solution for both patients, but also clinicians, in order to finally get the efficient treatment on both sides, from the compliance level and the decision-making level.
So does it mean that as a patient, with the help of your product, I can get more guided decision from my side, where I can make the decision, or I can ask questions to my medical, like to a doctor, where like, why are you doing this treatment? There is my data, kind of that stuff. And on the other side, there is a doctor who might have my medical data, and I can have a second opinion on how to treat me better, and or not even a second opinion, but additional data which make the precision of the treatment for me.
Yes, indeed. So it's basically exactly these two directions that you just highlighted. So it's, as a patient, you get the guidelines on the how personalized, how good is your treatment. So it gives you safety, and also what exactly can you do to increase the treatment efficiency. So this one part. And for doctors, it is indeed a proof check, and also the kind of fidelity check that actually this treatment is compliant to several guidelines, or the guideline he or she has been used to is up to date. So here's the new information that you may consider to provide a better treatment right here, right now. So yeah, and that's why we so far focus mostly on the clinicians, because indeed, as we started this discussion, that the personalized medicine and precision medicine is an emerging field, and there are not that many people who are actually fully understanding this concept and who are ready to apply this even on the clinician level. This is why we tackle the clinicians to like pioneer our solution in general trends of personalized medicine, and further we provide these insights to the patient as well, but as the second focus.